Welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 17th of October for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to give you a broad overview of what to expect, but please stay with me. I will then dive deep to give you in forensic detail each of the 12 zodiac signs from Aries through till Pisces. Now, as this week begins, we still have that Libra season. The Sun, Mercury and Venus all in the sign of Libra, but Venus is the ruler of Libra, so this gives it a particular resonance. Now by Saturday, the Sun and Venus come into an exact conjunction, but it's right at the end of their stay in the sign of Libra, because on Sunday they move into Scorpio. So I need to tell you about that for each of the 12 signs, but also the ruler traditionally of the sign of Scorpio is Mars, and the Sun's forging a really energized link to Mars this week, which is brilliant if we're wanting to have enthusiastic conversations. The problem is that Mars continues to be compromised by the swirling mist that is Neptune, and that's in the 12th solar house. So the potential for gossip or misunderstandings is still quite high, but if we can get our facts straight and we have a real sense of wanting to work in some kind of cooperative, collaborative, collegiate way, the Sun's conjunction with Venus by the end of the week can really, on the face of it, point towards improvements around relationship matters. It's just that in the very heart of this week, there is also a square between the Sun and Pluto. And this is much more complex. It's exact on Wednesday, but it is there, getting tighter to that exact point for most of this week. And of course, Pluto is very much the planet of power. So any relationship matter may require, if it has not been quite going as each party wants, an intense discussion. If it's possible to use the more diplomatic energies of Venus and the more detached vibe of Mercury, which does continue a very bubbly opposition to Jupiter, if we can continue to do that and rise above the need to, be very forceful in our approach, which comes from Pluto, then solutions can be found. But if that's not possible, I think that the move of the Sun and Venus into Scorpio, along with Saturn going direct on Sunday, could signal a separation in a tie that isn't working, or it can see something settle down in a much deeper and more productive and positive and committed way. So it's a bit of a make or break week for relationships in general for many of us, but how this plays out for your particular zodiac sign is what I will explain. Now, if you would like to ascend above this zodiac broadcast, year 2023 is racing up. If you want your personal forecast for that year, if you give me 3 pieces of personal data of time, date and place of birth, I can give you your 2023 personal forecast, but the rest of this year free. Plus, in my special package, your roadmap, your character analysis, which can help to guide your moves for the rest of your life. This will give you invaluable information to help you to understand some of life's repeating patterns for you, but also where you can seize opportunities. Please see the link below for more information. If you're new to my channel, I'd be honoured if you would subscribe. If you decide to do so, please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. If you're an ongoing viewer, thank you so much for your continuing views. So Aquarius, your week commencing the 17th of October forecast suggests there may be something that you really want to go for this week and be very dynamic around. It could be a connection with someone that perhaps has a philosophy that excites you. Perhaps they live somewhere else, perhaps they come from a completely different background. If you are travelling, it could turn out to be an extremely enriching experience. Mars, in your sister air sign of Gemini, is also feeding energy into the Sun and Venus in a way which can see you dazzle, really. your persona definitely given a big boost. Neptune still in that rather draining right angle with Mars just suggests that when it comes to more financial situations, to be a little bit more cautious in your approach. However, Neptune may be draining Mars, but Mercury and Jupiter are in a very bubbly alliance, which can see some exciting conversations and exchanges. And you know, your way of looking at things can often be quite novel, and that actually could be very attractive to someone. What's not to like? Well, it's just that Pluto, yes, it's making its way slowly towards Aquarius, which will happen for a brief period of weeks in 2023, but more fully from the 21st of January 2024, while Pluto is in a really tricky right angle to the Sun and Venus midweek. And that means that as much as you can show a lot of gusto this week, suddenly some kind of revelation can come up for you. Perhaps maybe it's something that you'll be confronted with by someone else. Somebody may confront you with a truth about how they see you, or maybe you're going to ventilate something that's been sitting deep within you, some resentment, and it may be around a relationship matter, not necessarily a romantic one, and that is possible at the heart of this week. But do you know, there's a really sweet moment on Saturday, the Sun and Venus in an exact conjunction. If you can do something spontaneous, particularly to please someone you're fond of, whether it's a family member, a friend, a loved one, that would be a fine time to do it. But then on Sunday, your traditional ruler Saturn ends its long retrograde, which began on the 4th of June, but the Sun and Venus travel into your sector of success. Now, Venus may be in detriment in traditional astrology in Scorpio, but for you it gives you an awesome opportunity to use diplomacy and your people skills in a very effective way over the next few weeks. But I think you're going to end this week perhaps moving from a period where you've really needed to be a freer spirit, quite in keeping with the independent credentials of your sign. But as the week draws to a close, the changes you may actually think of making may be much more to do with your career or the way you link to the world at large.